Hi, welcome to my dolphin fantasy bedroom. Whew. I have crazy, 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 crazy stories to tell you. And I've literally barely been able to stop crying from gratitude to make this video. I've wanted to make it since yesterday, but I couldn't stop crying, and so I decided to just allow everything to sort of gel and come together. And it's actually like, I love God so much right now, and everyone, literally everyone in the world. There's not a single person. Well, I still don't really love Trump, but I know he's just fucked up from childhood, so he's part of God just like all of us. It's hard to know where to start. I remember having someone, I think it was my son's dad, who used to say, when he wanted me to tell him something, I would be like, I don't know where to start. He would say, just start at the beginning. I can't remember who it was, but like, I don't know where the beginning is in a story ever. That's why I've already rambled for like 2 minutes of nonsense to do with nothing in this story. It's just stream of conscious. That's all it's ever been. That's all everything is just, we are just channeling feelings and awareness through the stream of conscious, just pulling out little things here and there. Like, what do we believe? What do we want? What are we manifesting? What do we want to manifest? What do we believe is possible? What do we believe we can manifest? I've seen myself. Oh, here's where it gets tricky, because I feel like I'm the manifester of my reality and my destiny. But also, there's this part of it that is either already predestined, like dropping the thoughts in that I'm supposed to then believe I want so that I will create them. But I don't even know how to put this all together, but I'm aware that I'm just a channel for something that's happening. So, I've talked about many times about the movie script that I wrote. It stars Jim Carrey playing himself. And I fully believe, because I'm not attached to the script myself as the writer, because I believe that the script came through me, because somehow I would have the awareness of what it would mean to get made, what it would mean to the collective consciousness, and that I would then become so passionate about it that I would then manifest it, or I would be guided to manifest it, or I would just be the witness of it becoming manifest. And probably all of those things. It doesn't really matter. But basically, this is what it appears as though is happening from the point of view that begins from behind my eyes looking out. It appears as though I've had multiple dreams, like life passion dreams, that I believed would make me happy as a human being. The dreams did begin to blossom during times of my life when I was not happy. So that's part of why it appears that these are things that would make me happy if they happened. So they're things that I've strived for. Example, when I was younger, I used to think that I wanted to be a rock star. There was another part of me that's smarter than me that knew that if I received that, it wouldn't go well. It might kill me. Because at the time, I was not ready to actually be a rock star and to receive that as a gift. It wouldn't be received by me as a gift. My ego was too big. My desire was too big. My problems were too big. And I just thought being famous and rich would solve those problems. But in time I realized that's not how it works. It's not that I quit wanting to be a rock star. It's that many other things drew my attention from the ability to focus on that. Because if you really do want something and you really do want to make something happen, it takes concerted effort and focus. And the thing about manifesting is first you believe it, prepare to receive it. The missing piece they never tell you is you have to put it in the subconscious part of your mind. That's where hypnosis comes in, meditation comes in. And then you still have to bust your ass. Like, what you want is not exactly going, I say not exactly because it is in a way going to be given and just handed over to you in a way that you won't be able to believe. But also, you have to, I don't know if you have to, but from back here, looking out, it has appeared as though effort must be put forth. Like, you can't, for example, become a rock star if nobody knows that you write songs. So you have to write songs, you have to record them, you have to perform them, you have to set performances, you have to promote yourself. That's what I mean by busting ass. You have to put one foot in front of the other towards that thing that you want. So there was a point at which it turned, because I can't even remember why exactly, but I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I kind of got addicted to reality television. And I just thought that would be such a cool way to be able to present yourself to the world as someone who has something to say. And then kind of a, not easy, but a less, not even less work, but I didn't know that at the time, but because it seemed like they were just following people around with a camera and catching what they were doing, and then, oh, here they are, here's their life. Reality television, fast food, here's a person, now they're famous. That's what I thought it was, but I've actually seen from behind the scenes what it actually is multiple times, and that's not what it is. It is actually a lot of work. It's kind of just like being a rock star, but you get to stay in one place instead of having to take your show town to town. Well, in some cases you have to travel, but more, I think, not to the extent that you would as a traveling musician / rock star. Stay with me. This story is really good. I'm just getting off on a ramble like I do. So at somewhere in time it turned that my dream fantasy reality would be that I would be a reality TV star. And then I would have that little soapbox. I've always wanted to teach the world how to wake up and what we need to do and how we need to save this place and everything in it, even our own asses. And it's been a slow and challenging process to watch myself not gather that desired audience. And so there was a part of me that was kind of staying in frustration. Because I was not very financially comfortable. So it was like a mental stress of like, how do I get an audience so that I can do the work that I'm supposed to do as an inspiration and also make a comfortable living so that I don't have to stress anymore, so that I can just give my time and my knowledge to the best of my ability. This was the mental struggle. And then I just decided to start focusing more on just what actually literally makes me happy. And it's many, many things. But it's also, most especially, having the freedom to do all of those things. And one of those things that I ended up focusing on quite a bit, which also ended up just coincidentally providing the financial reward, is the game of Texas Hold'em poker. And I had spent a lot of my spare time learning how to play this game without spending any money. And then I had to test my abilities by actually trying to do it for money. And when I did that, I found out and kind of almost manipulated a way that I can make a living playing poker. I'm not a famous poker player and I'm not a millionaire, but I have a comfortable life and I play a game for a living. And that has freed up a lot of space for me to figure out how to focus on almost exclusively what makes me happy. And with having all that free time to meditate and do hypnosis and, try to help other people with manifesting, because it's this kind of magical process that I proved to myself I can do and it works, I discovered that the happiness doesn't come from a thing. It comes from realizing who you are, loving yourself and the extension of yourself, which is the creative force that created you. You don't have to know what that is, but acknowledge it. Acknowledge that there is a creative force. I call it God, I sometimes call it love, and I sometimes call it the universe. But to me, it's all the same. God is this loving force. That's what God is to me. And it's an amazing, profound creative source that we have the ability to tap into at any given moment in time. So with my financial freedom and my passion going already, my happiness starting to blossom with my own ability to learn to love myself and thus other people, I just thought, okay, I'm actually ready. I'm ready to face the people that are going to hate me and make fun of me and try to destroy me because they don't like what they're seeing. And I knew that I was sabotaging my own success all this time because I was afraid. Because I've gotten really, really close to it a few times and I've seen it bring out the worst in people. And I think I didn't want to deal with that because I want to be this pure loving force that just brings love in and just gives it away. And by being that, show people that they can be that, because there is nothing else to be that's worth anything. There's really not. And so I started seeking again a way to get that audience so that people can find me and hear the truth that the universe speaks through me. I don't know why. I have no idea why I've been able to tap into everything that I've been able to tap into, and why some people don't, maybe never will and can't. But because I have been able to, I want to share it. I want people to know that they don't have to be miserable, because I've been miserable and I don't like it. So I know that people don't like being miserable, but there's a part of you that holds on to so hard and is not able to let go of the self-doubt and the self-hatred and the frustration because of the external, which is a mirage. People talk about the Matrix and how it's this negative thing, but the Matrix is neutral. You create what you want from it, and when it's ugly and negative and hateful and destructive, that's you seeing that. So it's manifest in you. So the difference between looking at a person and seeing their flaws and their issues, and looking at a person and just loving them, it took me forever to get there. And it was frustrating and challenging because I didn't want to be the person who judged and hated, but I was that person. And I had to humble myself and pray all day, every day, to please have this hatred removed from me, because I don't want it. And somehow it was removed from me. And so I know that prayer is true, and I know it's powerful, and I couldn't possibly line up the things that the universe lines up for me. It's not even possible. But somehow it's happening. It's being experienced through me so that I can bring it forth in a way that's accessible to all of us, because everyone needs this feeling of love and gratitude for the Creator, and to recognize that we're all part of it, and that to negatively judge other people, to hate them, to hate yourself, to hate anything in this world, is a detriment to the whole. And it's really only understanding this feeling of love and gratitude and becoming it that's going to heal the collective conscience, the collective consciousness, the entirety of the human race, where each little human is just a cell in the mind of God. And the whole thing is the creator. And that's what the Matrix is. It's creating itself. It's experiencing itself. And do you want to experience pain, hatred, and frustration, and disease, and destruction, and like horror? Or do you want to experience beauty and love? And ask yourself, really, why do you hate? And why is it there? And what is it serving? And can it be removed? Ask yourself honestly, do you want to experience true love? Because it's not in another person. It's in you. And you're not gonna find it by looking outside of yourself. I am aware that I just now started, maybe this whole time I've been saying cliche things, but I'm actually experiencing the feelings that I'm talking about. The feeling of love and gratitude, and how it is the power that manifests all of the things that you dream about, wish for, and want. And it's also a belief of mine that if you got everything that you wanted, you would realize very quickly that you didn't want most of it. And so what it boils down to, what you want, I promise you, the only thing you want is to be happy. That's it. So stop thinking of things that will make you happy and just ask for happiness. And how can I get happy? Because once you're happy, then everything else happens. So I'm in Reno, right? And I'm with my friend Patrick. And Patrick is an amazing videographer, filmmaker, producer, just a visionary with creating through the medium of film. He's a visionary. And he's badass. So I told him about my idea of wanting to create this show around poker. And that's what I do. I play poker, but there's all these other facets to it. Like, I do many, many things in my life. Also, the people that end up around you as a poker player, your poker playing friends, they also are amazing and have their own life stories. And they become like a family. I really think of myself as having like a poker family. It's like that. They're really like my best friends. And I wanted to try and figure out how to showcase this in a platform that reality television will scoop up so that I can get put out into mainstream American living rooms and be heard with the message that God wants to give to the world, which is, I've already said, is so simple. Be happy because you're pure love, and the rest is total bullshit. Some of it's fun bullshit, so it's like not bad to want things or to dream or to have these ideas, but it's basically just totally fake. It's all just part of the matrix and it doesn't really exist. All that really exists is us having experience in physicality and experiencing these things through our spirit so that our spirit can grow. Because as we evolve, the entire thing, the entire creative force, this pulsating energy of love, pure love, evolves and grows and dreams more dreams. And that's all we are into infinity, is pure love dreaming dreams. And that's the message. That's all it is. I just want more people to hear it. So I figured I do this thing all the time. I play poker. I've created this little family. It's kind of a cool idea for a show. So I worked on this reality TV show exactly 4 years ago. Patrick reminded me this week. We met 4 years ago in a little town in Alaska called Chitna. And we thought we were making one of the coolest shows that was ever going to be on TV. They spent so much money making it. I signed a pile of release forms. They paid me to go there. I saw exactly what reality television is. And it's not very reality-ish. It's a production. But I'm willing to put on a production to get the microphone to give this message to as many people as are open to hearing it. I'm willing to do that out of love, and I'm willing to set my ego aside and show all the sides of myself, the good and the bad, what everyone is gonna call crazy. It's okay now. I've accepted it because I've dealt my whole life with being called crazy. And I know that it's either I'm not crazy or everyone's crazy. It doesn't matter which, it's all the same. To me, what's crazy is believing that, like, this reality matters. Or that things matter outside of being love and being kindness. I will interject really quickly that I am not perfect. I do not always put forth the most beautiful face. I believe in peace and I believe in love, but I also don't believe in letting people walk all over you with unkindness. So I also will stand up for myself and what I believe, and sometimes that makes me look like a bitch. That's a perception that I cannot care about. If I want to move forward through reality to deliver this message, which I do because it's my mission and I've accepted it. And now that I've accepted it, I accept everything that comes with it. And where did I tangent off? I can't remember. I was in Chitna, reality television. Yeah. So the show never aired. But I stayed in touch with Patrick because we made a connection on the set of that show. I don't know how to explain it. I just knew he was my family. And when I told him about this show idea, and it's not the first show idea that I've had. Patrick is currently working on the CNN show United Shades of America, which is an Emmy-nominated show. I think they either just finished or they're almost finished filming their 4th season. And he had a break at the same time I happened to be going to play at this poker tournament in Reno. That's another long story, but I've been talking a lot about it in my show, This Alaskan Poker Life, which I have two really exciting episodes coming up. One is the healing session that I did with my dealer, Kyle. And then the next one that's going to be after that is my trip to Reno. And the whole trip to Reno was potentially and possibly the beginning of the TV show idea that I have. And it's just about following around this poker life, what it's like, and then, you know, the thoughts and visions that come through from following the muse and living the lifestyle and just being who I am. So Patrick meets me in Reno, and I couldn't have planned this more perfectly if I tried. This tournament that I went to was this big, huge thing put on by Run It Up Reno, Jason Somerville, and Poker Stars together promoting the 15th anniversary of Chris Moneymaker's epic poker win at the World Series of Poker. And they're giving away a $25,000 seat to their giant poker champion tournament. The Poker Stars Poker Champion Tournament, I think, something like that. I should know my facts. I'm sorry I don't have it all together, man. But anyway, the chances of me winning the Platinum Pass, the $25,000 seat, were pretty slim and not the goal. The goal was to go experience a big tournament like this that has professional, well-known poker players, to test myself and to make connections, to meet cool people, and to have fun. And when I told Patrick about it and my show idea and that I was going to do this, he agreed to come and get footage of me in the tournament and see, because he doesn't know anything about poker. He needed to see it with his own eyes, first of all, and second of all, try to envision what the show is that we want to make. And also, we just wanted to see each other because we haven't seen each other in 4 years, and we've just talked sporadically over that time. And we go in, and because it's such a big event, everyone who walks in there has to sign a release form, and there's cameras everywhere. And so Patrick comes in with his giant camera, just standing by my poker table filming me. Nobody said a word to him. He looked like the boss of the whole place. I told him, like, nobody in charge ever even asked him who he was because he looked like he was the one in charge. And really, he was just there as a friend to me and in, supporting my idea. And we both hope that it becomes something cool. But whether or not that happens, like, it almost doesn't matter because it felt like it was happening. And so I was able to have the experience that I dream of having, or that I've dreamt of having. Now it just is its own thing. Like, it's almost nothing to do with me anymore. If it becomes because it's supposed to. And if it doesn't, then it's not supposed to. And it doesn't matter because I'm already happy. If I'm supposed to do this thing and be this thing and bring this message forth, then it will occur. And so I don't have to worry about it anymore. I just have to get up in the morning every day and take the next step, which is effortless because each next step occurs to you in every moment. Brush your teeth, get in the shower, make a cup of tea. It happens by itself. You just become into it. You become the flow. And the flow, really all the flow is recognizing that you are love, realizing that you're being guided, and noticing when the synchronicities are talking to you. Like, I have just noticed my number signal really often is 33 and sometimes 333. So when I'm in a tournament and for no apparent reason I decide to glance up at the clock and it says 333, I'm going to play the next hand and I'm going to win that hand. And I know that, so I do, and it happens. And that's being in the flow. It was so flowy the last few days. It was mind-blowing. I haven't even reached the pinnacle moment of this story. So, Patrick and I, the tournament's over. We've got tons of amazing footage. I placed in the tournament 124th out of 825 entries. I finished in the money, which is its own achievement. I cashed, is what they say. Out of 825 entries, 128 people got paid, and I finished just under that, just so I could say I cashed. I was exhausted. I didn't sleep for 24 hours before the tournament even started. 24 to 5, more like 26 or 27, and then I was up the whole rest of the next day. So that finished. I was really just kind of glad it was over. I didn't have a lot of exciting card moments, so it was kind of amazing that I lasted that long. But it was the experience and the excitement of being there and having Patrick there, getting this great footage that really was the moment. And we were standing outside waiting for an Uber to go eat. We were going to this place called Grateful Gardens because Patrick picked it out. He found it online because it had a lot of cool vegan food. And he's thoughtful like that. So we're standing outside and we're talking about everything, and we're both just stoked because he's shown me some of the footage. I've been looking at him look like a badass all day. He's been watching me thinking I look like a badass all day. And we're just kind of high on the idea that who even cares if it ever happens? We're making the show right now. We're making it. We're having the experience. And he goes, you know, you just look good. You just look like things are good. It's just coming off of you. And I said, yeah, you know, I'm just happy. Like, nothing really even matters anymore. There's nothing I can complain about. I am just experiencing the freedom to be happy. And I said, everyone's trying to get the thing, but if you just stop trying to get the thing and just get happy, then the thing will show up. And he was like, ha, that should be a t-shirt. And then he repeated it back to me slowly. Stop trying to get the thing and just get happy, and the thing will come. And I was like, yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing. That's all of it. That's the message from the universe. Get happy. And I have all the ways to teach people how to get happy. That's my purpose, I think. I've just prayed every day, God, show me my purpose. Give me my purpose. Let me work for you. God, I work for you. Show me what to do next. And every day I've just done what occurred to me. Because I know, and I say it every day to myself, in my mind, And to God, I say, I work for you. Put me to work. And then I just wait. And I do what occurs to me. What occurs to keeping myself happy. Because that's my job. So this is all winding down because we're gonna go eat and then I have to sleep because I haven't slept for almost 2 days now. And my muscles in my neck are all starting to get weird and crampy because they haven't had any rest. So we have this amazing meal. We talk about the interview that we're gonna do the next day. So he's taking notes on what important things he wants to cover, what questions he wants to ask me for the promo reel that we're making. And then we get back to the hotel. I go to my room. First we quickly discussed what time we would meet in the morning, and then I go to lay down. And it was like 7:30 in the evening, so I had decided that I was gonna get up at like 2 a.m. and go play poker after everyone had already been there drinking all night. I was gonna wake up nice and refreshed, go down and pick up some money to pay for my trip. Because that's what you can do as a poker player. So instead, I slept enough, I thought, got up, got ready, went to the poker table, and then just had complete and absolute frustration with someone there who was way beyond too drunk to be playing poker, and then someone else who blatantly refused to follow the rules. And I was like, you know what? I am just too grouchy to be here. And I was like, you're wrong. I'm gonna make sure that they tell you you're wrong, and I'm just gonna leave because I don't have the patience to put up with, like, the blatantness of breaking rules like that. So I collected my chips and left, and this guy's, like, huffing and scoffing at me that he's right and I'm wrong. And I just said to the lady at the cash out, I was like, can you talk? Can people talk if they don't have cards in a hand? And she was like, no, of course not. And I'm like, right. Can you go tell that guy? Because he thinks you can. And I was like, I'm just too grouchy to put up with it. So I'm going to get out of here because that's just a recipe for losing money. And she's like, oh, I totally understand. She went over to the table while I was collecting my things and said, remember, you guys, if you don't have cards, you cannot talk during the hand. And I just left after making sure that, you know, like, everyone else at the table, I wanted them to understand that I was sorry for my grouchy attitude and that I was leaving because of that, because it wasn't anything else besides me recognizing that I was too grouchy to be happy and nice to play the game. So I went back to my room and went back to bed. We got up in the morning. We did this amazing interview. I'm going to show you some footage.
And I said, oh, really? Okay. I'll take it.
You got to upgrade because you wanted to hurry up and get in your room?
I don't know why.
Nice. Wow, look at this. This is all of Reno.
It's all of Reno. You want to see your badass self?
Yeah, what are you working on over here?
You. Look at this. Look at this. Just like bad to the bone here. I'm gonna like fuck you up.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, wait. There's more.
Oh, I was just checking out your system.
So here you are at the tournament.
A more conservative Southern coalition that is going to include in these states someone who might be scared by the type of robocall.
I got some nice smiles in there.
I'm pretty friendly, actually. That's just for show.
Yeah.
It's funny though. I never see myself like that. That's
I'm just
the concentration face.
I'm just going through the color correction of it. It's a very nice shot. Look how cute you are.
That's what I say to my kids. Look how cute you are.
Yeah, it's very concentration there. I just think that's pretty badass looking.
I love how you're cutting this. A little snippet here.
Oh, well, this is all I'm doing is I just wanted to color correct it real quick.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because this is, here are all the clips. Where are my clips?
Holy crap.
Yeah, so got a lot of
Oh my
stuff.
god.
And like, here, have a seat.
Okay.
I just think it's so cool that you're in this big tournament here.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
It ended up having 860 entries. And I made it to 124th. 4 from the money.
That's amazing.
On no sleep.
I don't know how you're doing it.
I don't know. I don't even really feel tired. I feel like too wired. Okay. Like brain wired.
I didn't know it was gonna be this big.
Nice.
And you want to see my favorite?
Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh, there's a camera watching you?
No, it's a scene.
I'm just kidding.
This to
Yes.
me is. I have one of these in my house.
Didn't you earn a little vacation like this though? You've been working your ass off, haven't you? A little pampering.
I'm kind of playing hooky right now.
Okay. That was your meeting today?
Yeah.
My, half my room will fit in your closet.
Here. Yeah. This is cool, right?
Yeah, this is awesome. How fun.
So I have
Living like a rock star.
I have an idea.
Tell me your idea.
I want to. Let me just go ahead and render
This is the reflection that you spoke briefly about.
this. The reflection? Oh yeah.
This guy was like, he was joking around. I'm sure his hand was better than mine, but he was like, I made a bet and he made a bigger bet, and he's like, girl, I saw your hand in your glasses, you need to be more careful. And he was kidding. That's not true. That didn't happen. I didn't hold my cards up there. He was being a total goof. But then you were like, oh, I got all this cool footage in the reflection of your glasses. And I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, it got some good stuff here.
It does, really.
Let me.
Someone at my game at home said I looked like a dragonfly. And I've been wearing these glasses ever since.
Okay, so here's my idea for tomorrow.
Yes.
I want to talk to you on camera.
Yes.
I want to do it in here.
Okay.
You're going to constantly videotape me?
I'll turn it off.
Okay, got a seat. I may have to move your camera with the seat.
Oh, is my camera in the...
Well, let me figure out the shot first, and then we'll figure work with your camera. Okay. Oh, wow, this looks terrific. This looks incredible. Wow. It's absolutely stunning. Okay. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna move your camera just a bit. I'll just move it over.
Wherever you want.
No, just
You're the camera guy.
off of the shot.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you'll like this.
Okay.
Okay.
I trust you.
That's okay. Just
Maybe
keep
you
going.
tried to concise and
Yeah, no. I'll start you again.
Okay.
Who is there at the tournament? What kind of people?
Chris Moneymaker was, of course, there. It happened at, this particular event happened at Run It Up Reno, which is Jason Somerville's baby. He's been putting together this kind of like a music festival for poker stars is what I think of it. Because in my younger days as a musician, the big thing was to go to get invited to perform at these music concerts that are like all-day festivals. And this is kind of a similar thing for poker players. People come from all over the world to play in these tournaments.
Yeah.
So Jason Somerville was there, Chris Moneymaker was there. Some medium level semi-pros, I guess you call them, lots of poker vloggers. And the vloggers these days are actually getting picked up by the poker sponsors. Like PokerStars is picking up these poker vloggers. So it's opened the door almost to, like you don't have to cash for hundreds of thousands of dollars for them to start noticing you now. You can make a career out of poker just by getting enough attention online as a person who loves poker.
What sort of, while you were at the tournament, how were you feeling? What sort of, and just backing up, what sort of things did you have to go through in order to get here to Reno? And what was going through your head at the time in terms of nerves or excitement?
I'm a single mom, so I have to plan my trips around my son's dad's schedule. My daughter is already fairly grown and moved to Oregon, but I still have a school schedule with my 12-year-old. So him and his dad and I split the week for school drop-offs and pickups. Fortunately, this tournament happened to land on days that were not my school day drop-offs. So I booked a quick ticket down to Reno. Basically, I got here in the middle of the night before the tournament started. Did not sleep because I was too wired from traveling. So I had over 24 hours awake. And gosh, you just get flooded with adrenaline at events like this. There was over 500 people starting in the tournament. The 860 entries was because they allowed rebuys, so we had more entries than actual people. But it's a full room of poker players. $86 tournament doesn't turn away a lot of people with a dream. So you have poker players from every range of beginners to, the pros were there because they're promoting their event, and they were also playing in the event because that's what's cool to the little guy, they get to sit next to their idols, their poker star idols. So there's definitely a lot of nerves going on. There's a lot of adrenaline. For what I've noticed from playing poker is that you sort of get flooded with adrenaline whether you're winning or losing. It doesn't matter, but you get put on that edge before the cards come of like what's going to happen, and your fight or flight mode triggers. And so there's this need to learn how to manage that adrenaline rush that keeps coming and coming as you're playing. So there's nerves, there's adrenaline, and there's pure excitement from just the love of the game and meeting people that you look up to as professionals, and just fun, good-hearted people. Poker people in general, of course, there's always the bad egg in every field, but poker people in general seem to be good-natured people from all walks of life, every religion, every race, every body type. Poker doesn't really discriminate. It's this place where it's almost like a tiny representation of what we wish America, the predominant idea of America, the melting pot, that we can all come together from our different mindsets and fields and ideas and dreams and sit at the same table and communicate. And then I wanted to go buy a lottery ticket because it was only 15 minutes away to the California border. We don't have a lottery in Alaska. It's just fun and interesting to me to have a lottery ticket to be able to look at every week and see if your numbers hit. Because, you could do a lot of cool things with the millions of dollars, right? And everyone was talking about how the Mega Millions was up to like $1 billion. And so we did that as part of the promo reel that he was shooting. He brought the camera. We drove to California. We bought lottery tickets. And then we headed to the airport because our planes were leaving within an hour of each other. And it was just amazing. It was an amazing week. I felt like, I had two pervasive thoughts. One was, oh my God, I think my dream is starting to happen. And oh my God, what if it isn't? What if this doesn't happen? Because I'm well aware of like how difficult it is to actually get a show on TV because of the experiences that I've gone through. I've been so close to having my own reality show. One that was almost completely filmed. Because I felt like I wasn't the star of the show, but people were going to see me, and I felt like from there I would be able to make things happen. If not get my own show, then pretty much create my own YouTube show or something. One way or another, I felt like it was going to happen, and it didn't. And in retrospect, I'm glad it didn't, because I've learned so much since then. And now I know why it's starting to happen, and it's because I believe in my purpose, and I believe that I'm loved by God, and I love God, and that's why it's all starting to happen. And I couldn't have wished for a more amazing couple of days. I couldn't even have imagined how great it was going to be. And it's just like this foreshadowing moment of what's to come if we create this show and get to work together like this in this capacity and keep going. It's going to be awesome. So I'm on this kind of high, and I get to the Seattle airport where I have a layover. And I'm doing this thing in my mind, like, oh my God, I think it's happening, but what if it's not? But it doesn't matter. It's good either way. So I'm like reconciling these two thoughts in my mind. And all of a sudden I come around this corner and I see someone I know that in the instant that I see him, it's like I'm seeing a long lost family member, someone I haven't seen in a really long time. That was the feeling that I had when I saw him. I was like, oh my God, hey. And then, I'm walking towards him, and the feeling that I'm having inside me is they're seeing a brother that you haven't seen in 10 years. And I start walking towards him, and I just start reaching out for a hug, And at that moment, I realized I've never met this person and he doesn't know who I am. And I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm Crystal. Like, I'm a huge fan of yours. And that person was Kyle Cease. I'm going to put some links in the description section. You have to watch some Kyle Cease talks. Kyle Cease is an inspirational comedian, and his message has literally, like, profoundly affected me. And there were days where I would put on a Kyle Cease video just to feel like I could go on living. And I appreciated him and his message so much that when I wrote the movie script that came from a profound dream that I had, and when I say I wrote the movie script, what I mean is I was just the body holding the pen. The universe was writing the movie script. The message that the world needs was coming through me and being channeled into this movie script, and I believe that it's supposed to be made. And I believe it's supposed to be made with Jim Carrey playing himself. And I believe it's supposed to include a collection of amazing people, and that Kyle Cease is one of those people. So I actually wrote the part of the psychiatrist for Kyle. And I named the doctor Dr. Collagle because collagling is this thing that Kyle came up with his friend. And it was just this idea that occurred in my mind when I was trying to think of the doctor's name, and I was like, it's Kyle. Kyle's the doctor, so what would the name be? And so I picked this thing that Kyle had invented, this name. And forever I did not know how I was going to get this movie script to anyone, but I thought I would reach out to Kyle on social media, and I tried writing him through his website. I tried making videos to get his attention. I posted on Facebook all the time. There were a couple times where he responded back to me on Facebook, so there was interaction, but I couldn't get it further than just kind of like a quick soundbite. I really just wanted to give him the movie script. And when I emailed him, I asked his team, like, how could I send it to them? Could I get it to him? Should I come to an event and bring it with me and try to give it to him then? And the message I got was sort of like not super receptive, but it was more like I could tell they're very busy fielding all sorts of things, and I wasn't a priority. Not that I'm not a priority, but that what I was saying couldn't be seen as a priority at the time. And so I kind of gave up trying to contact Kyle. It just didn't seem possible. But this part of my brain said, you know, like, be ready, just in case you happen to run into Jim Carrey. Have a copy of the script with you at all times. And I was like, how am I supposed to do that? There's no way I can carry around a script all the time. Duh, they make these tiny little discs. You can put a script on a disc and have it in your wallet 100% of the time. So that if you ever run into Jim Carrey, or if you ever hatch a plan to fly to California and stalk Jim Carrey, you'll have a copy of it with you, right? I could never have planned that after the most amazing weekend I'd ever, not, it wasn't even a weekend, it was 2 days during the week. experiencing this idea and the feeling of this show starting to come to life, that then the day after that, I would meet Kyle Cease and have my movie script in my pocket. So I have to tell you the story because it's kind of hilarious. I'm reaching out to hug this guy I think knows me, but realize while I'm reaching for the hug that, oh yeah, he doesn't know who I am. He has an earbud in his ear, and my act of going to hug him knocks the earbud out, which pulls his phone, and his phone drops on the floor. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He's reaching to pick up the phone, and he's like, it's okay, it's just my family, he says, like really dry, perfect. Like, I'm laughing and crying at the same time because I'm so, like, embarrassed that I'm a dork and a klutz, because I'm just, like, crying in this airport that I'm meeting and talking to Kyle Cease, who's been a huge inspiration to me. And I was like, you're the reason that my life has changed. And he's like, really? How so? And he still has his wife on the phone, and he's like, babe, can you hold on a minute? And he's like, you know, I explained that I start going after this dream with the poker and the TV show. And he's like, that's so cool that, like, because you're doing it, and, like, most people aren't doing it, but they're, like, I'm like, you know, we're having this moment where I'm the student that he's reached, and he's getting to see that his effect is powerful. Because I'm literally standing there crying in the airport thanking him. And he's like, wait, what's your last name? And I said, Hutchins. And he's like, I knew it. He's like, we've talked or something, or I've seen something of yours on Facebook or something. And I was like, well, I made this video once performing and telling you that you should have me come, you know, perform at one of your events. And he was like, oh, I don't think I saw that. But we should definitely talk. Do you have a business card? And I reached in my pocket because I've got these guitar picks with my web address on them, because I'm handing them out as my business cards. And this is so, like, this is how much I lost touch with reality. I have a business card with my phone number in my wallet, but I'm thinking I have to give him this nifty little guitar pick so that he can get on my website and contact me through my website. Just ridiculous thinking. But while I am reaching for the guitar pick, I realize, oh my God, I have the movie script with me. And I'm like, Kyle, I wrote this movie, and I wrote a part for you, and it's on this disc. And I'm like, you have to read it. And he's looking at me, and I'm like, the problem is, it stars Jim Carrey playing himself, and I don't know how to get it to him. And I know you met him, and I know it's not that simple. And he goes, I know people who know him. And I know he's talking about Louis Anderson, because I follow all this stuff. And I'm just praying that he reads the script and sees what the universe is trying to do, because I literally don't care about, like, most people are trying to get their movie made because they want the money. I'm trying to give this script to Jim Carrey for free just so he'll make it. That's it. I want this movie to be made. I could not have orchestrated this meeting if I tried. There's no frickin' way. So I know that the universe has intervened and made this meeting happen. And even if that's all it is, is that I got to meet Kyle Cease and say thank you, then that's enough. But I think it might be the universe showing me that if you really believe in your purpose and your mission, and you really pray, and you ask for that purpose to be revealed, and it's shown to you, and you follow it, and stop spending any of your time doing anything that you hate. Do not let this world steal your life from you. Do not let people steal this life from you. Do not stay in relationships that are killing you. You have to get happy. And if you get happy, the magic is going to start happening. I promise you. I promise you. It's happening for me, and I'm the living proof that if you follow your dream, it will start to happen. And maybe it will all the way happen, or maybe it will just start. But it won't matter because you're already happy. So just get happy. My friends, it's time to get happy.